now.
All
1 second. Okay, Beth, you're good to go.
Hi, good stuff. Hey, everybody, if you're on, it's 6 o'clock. This is Mount San Jacinto College Outreach Department's presentation on how to complete our online application. So give it a couple minutes here, or maybe, dive right into it. We are going to go in. We're going to help you apply to MSJC. This presentation is being recorded so that you can view it later. You can apply with me now, have like two little open windows on your computer and go on the internet and apply to the MSJC and submit it right now with me, or save it and the instructions and do it later. But you're going to get a lot of help today. So again, I don't know who's on, but it's 6 o'clock. We're going to get started. Should be about an hour, maybe less, because I also want to go over all your next steps for enrollment to the college. Like, you apply to the college, right? But you're not our student yet until you register for class and set up your Eagle Advisor portal. So I'm going to talk about those next steps so you know what to do next, and give you some other resources. I'll leave my outreach email, which is simply outreach@msjc.edu. And I have some help online with me today too. So again, my name is Beth Bowles from Mount San Jacinto College Outreach Department for the application workshop. And with me today is Marisela Magana, also from Outreach, and Susie Ortega. I'll let them introduce themselves. They're going to be my co-pilots today.
Great, thank you so much, Beth. This is Maricela. I also work in outreach, and we're so excited to have you joining us. I believe we have about 18 people watching now so far, so welcome and thank you so much. And we are happy to answer any questions towards the end of the presentation as well. So thanks again for joining us.
Hi, everyone. My name is Suzanne Ortega. I work in the Student Life and Development office with our student clubs and our Student Government Association. I'm helping Beth and Marisela out here in the presentation. I'll be the one replying to your questions in the live chat. And then if there are questions I cannot answer, we're going to save all those for the end, and then we'll get those answered for you at the Q&A portion towards the end of the presentation. So thank you all for joining us, and let's have some fun.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. Absolutely. So you are, as soon as you apply to college, you're an Eagle. And we'll talk about that next. But in today's video, I'm going to show you how to apply to MSJC and give you all your next steps. So stick around and ask your questions along the way for sure. For this instructional application workshop, you will need access to the internet, which you obviously have, okay, and the college website, which is msjc.edu. You'll need knowledge of your social security number. And I don't know why. There it is. You need your social security number. So run and get that. A current email address, not your school email, like a high school email address, your current personal email address at Gmail or Yahoo. And then you'll need knowledge of your GPA and your grades in your last English and math class. I'll explain what those are for. If you don't know those, we'll get as close as we can. It's not set in stone for this online application, but it's trying to place you in math and English, and you'll have those conversations with a counselor later as well. So run and get those. Hopefully you have those handy, or you can get those later. Now, you can apply to MSJC if you're a college, if you're of any age. If you didn't get a high school diploma, you can still be a college student at MSJC. You just need to be at least 18. And you can apply to the college if you're in high school seeking pre-approval to be a concurrently enrolled student. You can take college classes while you're in high school. And we're going to do a workshop on that tomorrow. So from top to bottom, how to get pre-approved to take classes while you're in high school. So tune in for that, or if you have siblings, younger students, or your kids want to apply because they're in high school, tune in tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I'll ask my co-pilots to put the link in the chat box, and click on the link and join us at 1 o'clock tomorrow, Friday, May 1st. So I'm going to do a combination of two things, a PowerPoint, and then I'm going to actually go on the internet and you can follow along. And as I said, this is being recorded so you can check it out later. You want to go to msjc.edu. Now, located at the top of the page is a big red button that says Enroll Now. So click on that and then click on Apply Now. There are some instructions there you can review, but before applying to the college, you're going to actually be taken to an external website with the state of California called OpenCCC Apply. There you create an account. And by clicking on Begin Creating My Account, you must have an email account and that social security number. This is where you put that in. So once you've successfully created the account, we're going to click on Start Application and then sign in with the username and password that you just created. So stand by. That was a lot, but that's the way it's going to go down. This is what it looks like. MSJC.edu, and there's the big red Enroll Now button. You following, guys? And then next, after you click on Enroll Now, you're here, and you're going to click on this Apply Now button. You can read about high school concurrent enrollment right here. And also, if you are that international student or a brand new student, there's a nice checklist of what to do next if you're continuing or returning student. So it kind of gives you your next steps. And then look at all the resources on the left-hand side of that web page here. So take some time and review that too. But basically, once you click on Apply Now, this is what the CCC Apply website looks like. So if you're a brand new user, you're going to create an account. I circled it in yellow. If for some reason you already applied to MSJC or another California college, you just sign in because you've created that account. So now just sign in with the blue button. They don't want you to create another account. And if you don't remember your login, they will ask you, there's a button there that will say, I forgot my password, so you can retrieve your account. If you missed more than one major semester, fall and a spring, you would have to reapply to the current semester for admission to get the hold taken off your account to register for classes. And if you applied in high school, like in your 10th or 11th grade year, for any reason, you would want to reapply now as a brand new student and a graduate of high school. That's important, so you get those earlier reg dates. So just sign in or create the account. Follow? Now, when you push create the account, there's another button, begin creating my account. So click on that. And these links here just allow you to get a Gmail or Yahoo email account if you don't have one. They're telling you that you need an email account, which I already briefed you on. So begin creating my account. When you click on that, this is what I kind of have two panes open because I couldn't fit. This is what it looks like when you scroll down on the right side, but on the left side, you got to create an account. Note it's pages 1 of 3 to create an account. So you go ahead and type in your first name. I made up a name and I wish I'd put an earlier birth date. I realized I'm not going to really submit this, so I could have been anybody, but you'll put your year of birth and day. That's my birthday, don't forget. But anyway, you put your first name in. Whoops. First name in. If you don't have a middle name, look, you got to check the box if you don't have a middle name. So I just pretended like my name was Betty. I don't have a middle name, and my last name is Morgan Test because this is a test account. Okay, so then it says, do you have any previous names? Folks, this is for if you've gotten married and you change your name. I don't know. They just want to know who you are. So I didn't have another name. Do you have a preferred name? You can put a preferred name in there. If you bubble in yes, it'll open up another dialog box, and you can put that you prefer to be called Elizabeth, not Betty, or Liz, or Beth. So I go by Beth, but I just put that I don't have a preferred name. And then your date of birth. And this is here where you need your social security number. And it looks like this. I put it over here on the right. They want to know if you plan to apply for financial aid. I plan to apply for admission to college or financial aid. You just check the box and then bubble in that you have a social security number. Most of us have that and not a taxpayer ID number. So SSN goes here, you bubble that in, and then I didn't type a social in, but that's where you do it right here in the dialog box. Now, if you don't have a social security number, you can still be our student. I always recommend though, if you have one, to use a social because your financial aid apps won't match up. So make sure you put your social in if you have it. If you want to take a minute, run and get it, do it. But if you don't have one, because we don't all have one, or you decline to state, you check the box. So in this case, I wanted to show you that. So I check the box that I don't have a social. And then at the bottom of each page, you continue. There's a blue button and you just push continue. So I hope that's clear. Just keep going. And this application really is more like a survey than it is like a big heavy duty college application. We need to know who you are. The next page after you click continue, it wants that email address. So I put my work email address, but you put your personal email address and you put your phone number. They want 2 different phone numbers. If you only have one phone number, just put one phone number in. But if you have a second one, you can put it in. It will let you go without a second number. But just make sure if you put a second number in that it's a different number than the first one, okay? So also, they want to know, is it okay to text you? That's what this is. This box is here asking, can we text you? Because some people get charged for text and you might not want to be charged. They're not going to spam you and text you, but it is a handy thing to have on file for a few different reasons, certainly for us, for alerts and things like that. So just check the box that it's okay to text, if it's okay to text. Put your permanent address in the next box. Okay, this is your wherever you live, your permanent address. And it's not showing here, but the next box says, is your permanent address the same as your mailing address? And if it is, then you don't have to retype the address again. Okay, so put your address, capitalized letters. This second box here is for the apartment number. Okay, and then your at the bottom it's Menifee, and then it's cut off there, but your state goes in there and your zip code. Okay, so most of us know our address. That's page 2 of 3. Follow? Now we go over to page 3 of 3. This is still creating that account. You're on the last page, and then we dive into the online application. Your username, they want you to create a username for this account. So I was advised, because this was a test account, to use the word test in my name. So I just made up a username. You can make up any username you want, but it has to meet the criteria of 6 characters with a letter and a number. So that's my username, and then create a password. And that criteria to meet is 7 to 20 characters with a letter and at least 1 number. Okay. Be sure to record your username and password for later use. Tuck it away in a file. You'll probably never reapply to the college again, but if you have to, then you've got it, and they won't let you create a new account. They will help you find your old account, but just tuck it away like you do any password or username. Next is the PIN number. I don't know what this is for, frankly, and I've been doing this forever. I would just enter any 4 digits. I think it's for if you get knocked off the website, if the website crashes, you can log back in. They might ask you for the 4-digit personal PIN. So that's my guess as to what that is. Go ahead and create a PIN, type it in twice. And then they want your security questions. So this is in case you forget your username and password. They can either send you a code, an activation code to reactivate your account, or you can agree to just tell me what my secret questions are, and they'll ask you your secret questions are, and you have to make sure the answers are ones you're going to remember and that won't change, right? So my parents met in Syracuse, blah, blah, blah. And there's like 3 or 4 of them. So that's where I went with my secret questions, and I don't show them all. And I'm shocked that I remember what school I was in 6th grade for, because I'm old. Anyway, that's page 3. Okay. I'll never forget my elementary school, Tarzana, California. So once you submit it, your account's been created, and this is what it looks like. I've blocked out my CCC ID number just for security purposes, but you'll never need that. It's just a confirmation number. You can take a picture of it with your phone, or, just make note of it. Your next step is to continue. You'll push the continue button, and then that is going to take you to MSJC's online application, I think. So I say that because I've seen it take you here again. So you'll either, you won't need to create an account. You can just sign in now, folks, because you've created a username and password. Do you follow? So I've seen different browsers take you to either begin the application or return to sign in. All right. So with that, I'm going to move on to the internet and log in as me. So here's the CC apply. If it takes you here, just go ahead and sign in with that username and password right here. And that's what it looks like. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in with my username, which saved it, and my password. So stand by. There's my password. I'm signing into CCC Apply now. And look, I'm going to start a new application. I'm going to resume my application, but you will start a new application, okay? And then over to the right, look, or up to the top of the left, you can see if you've applied to other colleges right there. And guess what? It's also in Spanish. So if you prefer to complete the application in Spanish, there's a Spanish version. And if you have any problem with this application, that help button allows you to call an 800 number, and they're really responsive. They pick up. But let's go to, for me, I'm going to push resume. You're going to start a new application. And you'll be taken to enrollment first. Your application is going to have a bunch of yellow circles. And when you complete that section, it turns to a green check mark. So ignore my green check marks. Let's pretend I'm just starting a new application with you now. Note that it's for Mount San Jacinto College Community District, and the term I'm applying for is fall. You might apply for summer. And if you do, that's fine. If you don't even take a summer class, you'll still get a reg date for fall with us. But go ahead and choose which semester, which it asks you here, fall. You could apply for summer right here. Sorry, summer and fall, not spring. That's what we're in right now. So I'm selecting fall, which starts, as you see, August 17th and ends the week before Christmas, 12/18. You won't need to apply to the college again, so unless you skip a semester. So that's the application there. You should probably apply for the current semester, summer or fall. Now, your educational goal is not set in stone, but they do want to ask you, what is your goal here? I always suggest thinking of your long-term goal, right? I'm going to obtain an associate's degree and transfer. That's typically what we all do at MSJC. Again, if you choose something else, it's not set in stone, but here's a hot tip, and I say that a lot, hot tip. Do not select undecided because it could deny or delay your financial aid, okay? So just select something. Obtain an associate's degree for transfer is what I always recommend. And then same goes for your major. It's not set in stone, and this is a state application, so it doesn't even have all of our majors. If you don't know what you want to major in, hey, that's fine. You're going to continue that conversation with an MSJC counselor. So what I recommend is select sort of liberal arts or humanities for now. You could select anything, frankly, right now. It's not set in stone. I'll explain what B and C is, but again, don't select undecided. Look, because you're not eligible for financial aid. I think the federal government's application states, or they assume that if you don't know what you want to study, we're not going to enforce offering you money for college. That's kind of the algorithm I'm thinking they think of in terms of this application. So just select something for now. Option B and C are those ed plans you'll discuss with an MSJC counselor. They get pretty detailed. It's not critical for this, but I wanted to let you know what those were. So for now, I'm just for purposes, because I'm undecided, but I don't want to say that, I want to select Associate of Arts in Humanities and then continue. Now, if you're going to be on this page a long time, you can push save, but go ahead and push continue and you go to the next page. This is your account information. So review it. If you don't like, if you see you made a typo on something, I didn't provide a social, but if you did, it'll show you the last four. It'll show you all these things that you just input. If you want to change it, you can edit the account here. But I like what it says, scrolling down. And look, my current mailing address is the same. If it isn't, then you have to type it in again. But my mailing address is the same, so it collapses that drop down and we can continue. All right, so we're going to continue. And then the third tab is your education. Note these two just turned green because we completed those sections. As of 8/16, remember I said the fall semester starts August 17th? So look at these dates when they ask you, what is your status? I am a first-time student after leaving high school, let's pretend, although my date of birth doesn't show that, but that's what you can say if you're a high school student. First-time student after leaving high school, okay? Maybe you did attend another college, then it will ask you what those colleges are. So I'm going to leave it at that and then scroll to the next one. They want to know about your high school education. As of that date, what are you? Now high school seniors can say, I've received a diploma from a US school, okay? And then put your date of graduation and the year, okay? Yours is going to be 2020, right? Or, 2019, what have you. I just made this up, as I say, because this is a test account. And you can make up the date. If you don't know your graduation date, you could make it up, but the year has to be accurate, okay? Or things, again, won't match up. Did you receive a diploma? Yes. Have you attended high school? Yes. They ask you like 3 times. Yes. A third time, I attended high school. Scroll down. Now they want to know where. I think it's defaulted to US of A, so leave that. California is at the top, so select the state. And if it wasn't in California, you just say what state. And then I'm pretending I graduated from our neighbor Vista Murrieta High School in Murrieta. As you start to type the name of your high school, it should autofill, okay? Or you can just leave it at the name of your charter school or whatever school it is. It will even let you put in an internet, like if you went to school in the Bahamas or something, or in England, it'll let you add that. Then the name of it, and it'll autofill again here, and then what city, Murrieta. You either save or continue, but we're going to move on because I don't need to be on this page much longer. I like it. I'm going to continue. So the fourth tab is about your citizenship. All right. Are you a US citizen? Yes, I am. So I'm going to select US citizen. But if you're a permanent resident, it's going to want all that good stuff. Okay. Or if I'm a visa holder, it's going to want all the details of that. So you'll have to have that handy as well. I happen to be a US citizen, so it defaults and leaves it there without any additional information required. If you are a dependent of anyone in the military, it wants to know that. You can say that you are serving active duty or that your parent was currently serving or retired or whatever applies to you. But note that if you select that, look, it wants all the stuff. It wants all your information about the residency of military record. So I am not, none of those apply to me. Okay, so I'm putting none apply to me. But if it does apply to you, again, be ready to input where your parents served. It's your immediate family, your mom or dad, okay? Or if it's you, put your info in, okay? All right, any questions coming along?
Hi, Beth. Yes, we have an active chat session, and I'm replying as I go, but nothing directly for you.
Okay, good, because I'm moving along. I told you we were going in, so I'm really proud of you guys, yeah.
Doing great.
Let's continue then and go to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th tab, which is residency. I'm going to push the continue button at the bottom of each page. This is important because if you're not a California resident, you're going to get charged out of state tuition, right? Instead of 46 per unit, you're going to get charged absorbent fees of more like 400 per unit. So be honest though, I mean, and we can talk about that. If you're in California for a year and a day, you get in-state tuition. They want to know as of that date, again, the start of the fall, no, actually that you have to be here, you know, a year and a half. Yeah, they want to know if you've lived in California continuously since that date. So it's based on the other dates you just put in. I put yes, because that is true. I have lived here for a very long time. I am a native Californian. So I don't even have to think about that question. And as of this date, have you, and if you were a high school student, it might say, have your parents engaged in any of these activities? So I'm an adult, so it didn't ask me about my parents. Have your parents or you paid taxes outside of California? Have you registered to vote outside California? Have declared residency in a college or university outside California, or filed for a divorce or lawsuit outside of California? Those are your keywords. If you have, you got to bubble in those answers. I have not, so I don't bubble in anything, okay? So think about that and always look at the date when they ask you. Well, let's see, as of 2018, no, I've lived here since, you know, 19, right? Or 2000, whenever you were born. All right, now have you ever been part of the court-ordered foster youth program? If you have, then you talk about your status in the next bubble in drop downs. Okay, bubble in what your status is. If you're foster youth, let us know because there's benefits for you, and also early registration. If you're not, bubble no. So that's what they're asking there for. And if you don't know what court-ordered foster youth is, that's actually a link that will tell you a description of that off to the side. See that? So I'm going to close that and mark no. And continue. Are we good? Let's continue. This is where it gets into some survey type questions. I think the state of California creates a lot of grants and programs based on some of our answers here. Some of them are optional and they'll let you continue without them. Some of them are required. They want to know if you're comfortable reading and writing English. If you're not, you know, then they may send you a friendly email on our courses that will help you become more familiar and comfortable speaking and reading English, or reading and writing English. So I am, and I hope that I'm proving that here. Further, through needs and interests are financial assistance. Are you interested in receiving information about money for college? Heck yeah. That means they'll send you, again, just a friendly email from our financial aid department, probably. Okay. And then are you receiving all these things? If you are, you probably know it, but what they stand for is Social Security income, welfare, or food stamps. Okay. So, you know, you can say yes or no, whatever applies to you. Now, maybe you're interested in our competing intercollegiately with other community colleges on any of our athletic teams. Maybe you're a hotshot golfer, you want to be on the golf team or play tennis. Again, you'll just get a friendly email from the coach if you bubble in yes. Okay. So, and these links are information. So if you don't know what intercollegiate team means, click on it and it'll give you a description off to the right. Or you can say, no, I'm really not interested, okay, beyond taking a PE class that I might need to satisfy the requirements for my degree. So I, in this case, am not. I've done enough gymnastics and things in my life to compete with. So beyond that, then these, again, are friendly emails that we'll send you if you check the box. We have all of these now, and you can check as many as you want, but be aware that you will get an email for every box you check. And the most important email you want to get or look for after we submit our app, and I'll emphasize this again, is an email from us with your student ID number and activation code. So this is optional. You don't have to select any of them. I'm not going to select any of them, but you can certainly, if you're interested in housing or health services or childcare or CalWorks or anything, bubble it in, check the box. See, it just looks like that. And you'll get a friendly email from us on that. All right, so I want scholarship information too. Okay, continue at the bottom of the page. Now they would like demographic information. They would like to know your gender. In this case, if you want to decline to state, you certainly can, okay? Remember I said don't decline to state your major or your option for your educational goal, but here you can decline to state if you don't. But I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm a female. Did you consider yourself transgender ever? No, for me, it's not, but you bubble in whatever you're comfortable stating. And you have a drop down here for whatever orientation you are. And again, you can decline to state if you'd like, okay? So we want to be all inclusive, and I think that's part of why they are asking you that question. Here they do want to ask about your parent and guardian. So who raised you? And again, there's a description of what a parent or guardian is. In this case, they ask you about parent 1 or 2. So in this case, my father got a Master's of Fine Arts from UCLA, so I gave him that. And then my mom, I think she graduated with a bachelor's degree. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think she did. Yeah, actually. Okay, so anyway, if you don't know, guess what? You can say unknown, okay? Or that you don't have a second parent or guardian. So there's a lot of options here. If they just graduated high school or if they have just some college, then you can go with those answers, or unknown. So these aren't too critical, but again, they'd like to get some background on who's applying to the college. As you scroll down, they'd like to also know your race and ethnicity. Are you Hispanic or Latino? I am not, but if you are, you check yes. And I am white, but you check whatever you're comfortable checking. And I found it interesting, never before have they asked what area you might be white in. So I do know my, my British background. So I checked the British Isles. I am so English, it's ridiculous. So I did my little DNA swab one time, and I'm Irish and English. Anyway, then you continue on. Okay, so again, you don't have to check any of that stuff if you don't want to, but just check whatever you're comfortable doing. No one's going to test you on it. Continue at the bottom with the blue box, and we're almost done. And I'm going to just keep moving. If you're doing it with me, I hope I'm not going too fast. Here they're asking you for statistical information. Some more supplemental questions. I think they will let you go on without answering these, but let's go ahead. My mother's highest education level. Again, they're asking for that again, apparently. Father's was a graduate work. You put in whatever applies, and if you don't know, just push unknown. And then they want to know how many people live in your household. Count yourself. Right now I have, 3. Okay, so the older daughter's moved out, but if it's 6, 8, 10, 8 or more, go for it. But right now we're 3. And what's your family annual household income? If you don't know it or don't want to say, then you can just leave it at select 1, okay? If you don't know it, you can guesstimate or just select if you know it, okay? But it will let you continue without selecting an income. I don't know why they asked that question, but they do. And you don't have to answer it. Do you need assistance in learning how to read and write or pronounce words in English? I happen not to, but if you do, you can bubble yes. And again, I think they just want to reach out and help you. Okay, here we're going to continue on to the submission area. Now, they will let you review your application if you click on that button and check it all out. You can change some answers if you don't like it, okay? I like it. I'm gonna just hide that. I like it. I'm going to submit my application now, okay? I reviewed it. If you don't think you have to review it, then don't click on that button, because now you need to consent and bubble in 2 more boxes that you are who you say you are and that you allow this information to upload to the college website from here, and it does it in minutes, match you with an ID number with MSJC, and you're our student. That's all this is. It's all the legalese that California has to ask you. So it's no big deal. I consent, check again these 2 boxes, and submit my application. I'm not going to do it, but you are. And then I always say to students, the other day I told a student, I'm going to unbubble this just so I don't submit it. You're going to get a big congratulations. It'll say, good job, Henry, or good job, Betty. It's so cute. Up here in the corner, it'll say, good job. That means you have applied to MSJC, and you'll get another confirmation number. Okay, how'd we do? That's it. And look, all those sections turned green. After you submit, that one will turn green as well. So what happens next? After you submit that online application, I'm going to log out. I'm not going to submit that because I'll do this again with you guys. And now it's been recorded, so you can go through it again. Once you submit your online application to MSJC, you get an ID number within minutes and an activation code that you will use to set up this online portal at MSJC. So in about 15 minutes, you check your email. And again, we're going to send you a few emails from us, but the key email you're looking for is the one with an activation code. So that's why they need your email address. What do you do with that activation code? You use it to create a password for the MSJC Eagle Advisor website. And I am now at our website, msjc.edu. And this is where you go to do everything as a college student, Eagle Advisor. But wait for that email. Don't go to Eagle Advisor yet, because here's the other hot tip. It only really works from within the body of the email that you get. So make note of your username. We're going to give you your MSJC ID number and username. And then you're going to copy and paste the activation code that we give you in that email into the link that we give you in that email. And then you'll be prompted to put in your username and your activation code and follow the prompts to set up the Eagle Advisor portal. Okay. That is where you will need to log in to do the online orientation and activate your student email. It's where you actually register for class and check your registration date, search and register for classes, pay for classes. And then I'll give you a little tour of the homepage here. Canvas is your shell for your classes. Here are links to your student email. Once you've activated your student email from within Eagle Advisor, you can click there to set that up, to log in and see if you have any emails. That's the only place your instructors will email you. And it's the only place your financial aid will email you. So it's important to check that often throughout the semester. On Eagle Advisor, you can also check the status of your financial aid. Okay, so that's important to set that up. I don't have any screenshots of the email that you get, but once you get it, set up your password. And this is where I just clicked on Eagle Advisor, sorry. And this is what it looks like. This is how you log in. Once you create that password from within that email on your computer or your phone, I'm doing this like it's a phone. We give you your username, you type in your username, and I'm going to do that now because I want to show you what Eagle Advisor looks like, if that's helpful. Let me pause here, and is there any other thoughts?
Hi, Beth. Yes, so let me go ahead and ask some questions that I haven't had a chance to type back in the chat.
Okay.
So the first question is, what if I want to start with my GED for my first year?
Yes, that's offered through, I'll go back to our homepage, through our adult education. And here's the deal though. If you're 18, you can still take classes at MSJC and work on both if it's not too tough for you. You can start working on your certificate or your associate degree and your GED at the same time. But if you want to start with your GED, you'd go to programs and classes, scroll down if you're looking at the screen here to adult education. And this is non-credit, but look, you can get your GED from MSJC. They get you ready for that state exam to get your GED, and it's a wonderful program. I can't say enough about the teachers and staff of this program. They're wonderful. So their contact information is here. You can read all about it. You can also email them with questions. I think these are free. There might be a fee for the GED exam, but I'm not sure. Read all about it at our website, okay? And if you didn't follow that, you can also just do a search for it here. But it's from Programs Adult Education. Does that answer your question about GED? You can do both.
Great, thank you so much, Beth. Next question from Noah is, I answered a question incorrectly. I did not consent to sharing my info to CCC. Can I modify my application?
I don't know. I've never known anyone not consent in all my years. So I would want to know if you got an email from us. I think you still get an email from us. I still think you're our student. What's your answer?
And he also had a question about not receiving his activation code.
So it could be because you didn't consent. It could be that you didn't want us to match your information up with our system to give you an MSJC ID number. If you would like, provide me with your email address or email me at outreach@msjc.edu and I will get the answer for you. I'm sure there is one and I've just never come across that before. I should really be armed with the answer to that question, but I don't know. You can also email us at, if you go to departments, scroll down here to, here it is, enrollment services, and email them that question. I think you may have to reapply or go in and edit that. I'll have to find out for you and let you know. Thank you for asking. That's important. We want you to get a registration appointment, so we'll rectify that if you'd like. With or without consent, I should think. Thank you.
Thanks, Beth. And then another question from Alex is, how do I get my password for my student email? I activated it, but I never got a password for my email.
Well, you didn't activate it unless you created a password. They want you to create the passwords. So if you went into Eagle Advisor, and that's where you activate the email, by the way, you log in here and activate the email, it's going to give you what your student email address is and ask you to create a password. So that's why you didn't get one. Maybe you didn't create one. Does that answer it? I'll log in now like I was going to do and show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to log in as me, as a student. It's always the first initial of your first name, and I go by Lizbeth, so it's L. Bowles is my last name, and the last 3 digits of your student ID number. And then you've created a password with that activation code. So I'll type in my password. This is what it looks like when you log in. You want to click on Student Eagle Advisor and why didn't it log me in? And then you'll get the student email, or I'm sorry, student menu. And when you click on the link, does this look familiar, Alex? Activate student email. It wants you to create a password to meet this criteria. And this is your, whoops, my student ID number. Your email address is going to be your username at student.msjc.edu. Okay, so to me that answers it there. If you need help activating it, again, I'll walk you through it over the phone or email. You can email me at outreach if I didn't answer it or I'm not understanding the question right. But you create the password. How'd I do?
Great. One more question that we have so far is from James. His question is, hey, I'm just wondering if a certificate will support my requirements when I finally want to go to 4-year college.
A certificate usually does not. A certificate is, the requirements are for a certificate and usually a lot less units than what an associate degree requires. So the difference is meeting the prerequisites for a Cal State, a UC, or the private and independent universities. And a certificate usually does not have enough requirements to satisfy that transfer opportunity. We call that transferring to university. A certificate is great to build your resume and get you job training. For instance, you've proved yourself proficient in our certificate programs are listed on our website. You can, for example, get a certificate in golf course turf management or audio technology, and it outlines all the programs here under career technical education. There's the website if you want to highlight that and put it in your browser. But the certificates are usually 18, 20 units. Here's a whole list of them here. A lot of good nursing certificates. And then you need to satisfy, though, if you want to transfer, the requirements, which are usually 60 units. Meet with a counselor, get those ed plans, and understand the difference. Okay? Good question.
Okay, so this is another question, Beth. I
Yes.
applied last night, but have not gotten an activation email.
Good. I'm glad you told me that. Couple things. It could have shown up in your spam folder. If you didn't provide a current email address, or you typoed your email address, if it's wrong when you set up your account with CCC Apply, or maybe it went to another email, I don't know. It should have gone to your current email address. Here's the other thing. You won't get an activation code email if you applied once a year or two ago. We revised things, and so someone that applied before, and thank you for bringing that up, because you just request another activation code at Eagle Advisor. So if you didn't get that email, go ahead and whoever's asking this question, go to Eagle Advisor, or for anyone that already applied to MSJC. And I apologize, I'm logged in. Let me log out. I thought I had the tab open. Logging into Eagle Advisor. We have a few places to go. Request another activation code right here. Scroll down. I need a new activation code. Do you follow that link right there? You click on the link and put your email in again and see, and you should get it within about 10 minutes. Try it again and try this to get that activation code. Yeah, so I'll bet that's what it is. You just need to request another one. Unless you've already set up Eagle Advisor and you don't need that activation code, that's the way to get it. Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, I have another question from Evelyn. Can I take general ed classes and classes for my associates at the same time? Or do I have to complete all general education classes before moving on to classes for my degree?
You can do whatever you want. You're in the driver's seat. So to answer that, yes, the general ed are the prerequisites to transfer to university. And the ed plans are at our website, or you meet with a counselor who can help you with those. I'll talk to you about how to set up a counseling appointment as well. But if you'd like to review some of those degree programs, they're right there under programs, and the ed plans are here for the most part. And to transfer, you'd have to satisfy those prerequisites in general ed classes. You can take those classes, which are standard, like English, college level math and English, am I right? If you're a math major, certainly math classes, or if it's a science, all those prerequisites to then dive into your major when you get to university as a junior, by the way, and just finish up at university. Along with maybe a digital art class, right? Or maybe you've always been curious about ceramics, or you've wanted to take a PE class or yoga or ballet class or a photography class. You're in the driver's seat. So the answer is yes, you can take as many classes as you want. You can go full-time, part-time, flexible scheduling. And when we're not online, fully online, you can take a morning class, a night class, what have you.
Thank you so much, Beth. So at this point, we don't have any other lingering questions on the chat. So
Okay. Yeah. And then I'm going to log back in as me and give you a little tour of the Eagle Advisor account, because I want you to see where you activate the student email, how to find your registration appointment, and most importantly, how to do the online orientation, because you won't get an registration appointment until you complete online orientation.
Just gonna interject for a second, Beth. In the chat, I'm gonna put a link for the Student Hub. So that's where, now that we're in this virtual environment where you can view all the departments that are able to schedule appointments virtually. It's similar to how you would come into the office. There's a virtual lobby where you can walk in appointments with counselors or financial aid. So I'll put that there so you guys have a reference to that.
Thank you. I tried to type it in and I didn't do it. MSJC.edu hub. There it is. It looks like this, guys. Yes. Thank you for that. This is a fabulous resource, especially as a new student, and it's just a hub. Exactly right. So if you need to reach out to enrollment, click there, drop down, and you can even email them. And I would email them right now because they're probably more responsive via email right now. You can contact the cashier, the bookstore, counseling, and that's where I would go for that counseling appointment. Okay, a couple different links, and of course you can email them, and people are answering there. We're in a different world now, obviously, but we are connected, and that's how to do it. So thank you for that, Miss Ortega. All right. So once you set up your password for Eagle Advisor, this is how you log in. You can reset passwords and you can request another activation code if you need to. And look at this, there's phone numbers there. Give them a call or email us. Please reach out. We are here to help you. When you log in, this is again what it looks like. You go to the Student Eagle Advisor tab, and there's all these links. You can do everything here. You can pay for classes. You can get on wait lists. But this is where you search and register for classes and plan your schedule through the self-service tool. You'll get a tutorial on that in a counseling meeting. And this is over here on the left side where you would apply for graduation. I could have answered that last night. I forgot about that link there. You have student planning links. Just poke around this menu and get familiar. You'll definitely want to check the status of your financial aid with a financial aid checklist. What's my username? I forgot. What's my password? Activate my student email. So definitely want to do that. And then if you scroll all the way down on the left, this is where your grades are going to get posted. This is where your unofficial MSJC transcripts are posted. And all the way on the bottom, this is online orientation. So make that one of your first things you do when you apply to MSJC and activate this portal is do online orientation. After you do online orientation, you will check the link just above it that says, when is my registration appointment and do I have any holds? That's how you know when to register on or after the date that we generate for you. Anyone that's applied for fall, your classes start August 17th, but you will register yourself in classes in the month of June or July, okay? And by then you will have looked at the schedule, you have met with a counselor and kind of planned out the classes you want. Our schedule is posted at our website. And again, that's probably at the hub, but you can also find it from our homepage. And currently it's only the summer schedule is up right now. Right under, whoops, getting in. Oh, I'm sorry, programs and classes, schedule of classes. So the schedule is there, it's a PDF, you click on it and you start circling the classes you want. Back to the Student Eagle Advisor menu. I'm jumping around a bit. I wanted to just show you how easy the online orientation is. It's pages of information that you read, but it's also a video, okay? And you just pop your earbuds in, you listen to the video, they quiz you along the way, and you're done. What you're looking for is at the end, a congratulatory message that says, congratulations, you've completed online orientation, and you get automatic credit for that. Please use Chrome or Firefox. Those are the preferred browsers. Safari maybe, but really Chrome or Firefox for that, and for that counseling appointment for sure. Use Chrome or Firefox. If you don't have it, you can download it from the web. So as you scroll through, you'll go next, and there's some videos there that you can start clicking on. And there's the President's welcome message. So put your earbuds in your spare time, you can do online orientation. Any questions about online orientation? You continue through each tab and each slide and each tab at the top. And as I mentioned, they will quiz you along the way. Okay, just to kind of prove you've read the information. So this is it. This is where you live as a college student. If you transfer over, maybe you go on to be a Titan at Cal State Fullerton, you'll log into the Titan portal and you do everything as a college student there. All right. Was this helpful? I hope. I don't know if you got your activation code. I went through it pretty quick. So if you didn't apply with me today, do it later and you're an Eagle. Now, you're not in classes until you register yourself in classes. So you can apply to the college and still just not take classes. I hope that's not the case, but you're not committed until you actually register for classes. And if you want to drop the classes, you can drop the class. If you get the syllabus and realize this isn't for me, I want to take this other class instead, you drop it. And if you drop the class early enough, you get a refund, right? Don't drop classes just to drop them or fail or drop out because you'll lose your financial aid. There's a consideration there, but work with counseling to manage all that good stuff. There is free tutoring in every subject. There's programs like CARE, Umoja, clubs, there's EOP&S, there's accommodations for students with disabilities, learning or physical disabilities. There's so much help at MSJC that I hope you reach out and you get connected. We're here to help you. I'd like to ask Maricela or Suzanne if there's any other items I may have missed, or if you'd like to add anything right now. So you're a wealth of information as well.
Thank you so much. There are no additional questions at this point, and you did a fabulous job covering all topics. So I'm lost for words.
Well, there is a lot to talk about. So before I go, I do want to introduce the FYE program. That is a fabulous program for new students. If you took classes at MSJC in high school, you're still our new full-time college student. You're eligible for this program. If you already took classes at Cal State San Marcos and then want to join this program, you can't. It's is really for first-year college students. Make note of the website if you want to type it in the chat box for me. It's msjc.edu/FYE. Once you've applied to MSJC and get your ID number, you can do this quick, easy application in the middle of the page. Please read the description about the program, but suffice it to say, the guidance class they offer and the extra support. And if you have high anxiety about being a first-year college student, look, we're all in the same boat sometimes, and this is a great program to just get you a solid start on your college career. There's some other links here. If you pull down, you can read about our summer bridge program, and that's coming up pretty quick. There's workshops and events you can join. But look at how easy this online application is. It's like just a few dialog boxes. I'll let it load, but they do need your MSJC ID number here. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guessed wrong. 8. Thought there were about 5 dialog boxes. And once you submit that, you will get an email from us on what the program's about and what to do next. If you don't want to do it, then that's fine. But I really recommend it for sure. And maybe take a guidance class your first semester. But the FYE program is really well worth looking into. You just need to apply to the college first. Okay, well, I've talked long enough. We're coming up on about an hour, so you guys have been great. Thank you for hanging in there with me. And it's being recorded, like I said, so you can check this out again later, or refer to it later. But do reach out. I'm here. Literally, I'll be on the email tomorrow and answer your questions if you want, and next week. So thanks for coming. Welcome, new Eagles.
But Maricela is answering a few more questions in the chat, so I'm gonna
Okay, well,
wait for her
hang
to
on.
finish up before
Okay,
I end the stream.
okay. Sounds good.
So Jeff is asking where he can find his student ID number. So maybe we
Yeah.
want to show that on Eagle Advisor.
Absolutely. msjc.edu. Click on Eagle Advisor, and there's a couple ways to get to it from the login area, and then you scroll down here, or I like to go to the center of the page, and it's right here, Eagle Advisor. This
You
will
need
work.
to share your screen again, Beth.
Oh, sorry. Didn't realize I had unshared my screen. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's go to the top here. Eagle Advisors right down here on the right-hand side toward the center of the page. You click on that. And see this link that says, what's my username and student ID number? You click on that, and you can retrieve it from the website. You put your last name in and your social security number. This will only work if you used your social security number on the online application. So this is one way to get your student ID number. So you'll type in your social and then push submit, and up will pop your MSJC ID number. that's the only way I know how to get it. It's in the email that we send you. Once you submit your online application, you'll get an email from us. It's in that email. MSJC ID numbers right there. So if you want to search your inbox or just do this routine here with the last name and social, it'll come up if you're in the system. If it doesn't, email us at enrollment or me, outreach@msjc.edu. And because you went to my workshop, I'll look it up for you and call you back or email it to you. How's that? So Eagle Advisor, click on that link right there. Good stuff?
Great stuff. And I want to go ahead and thank our viewers for sticking around with us and learning all about the MSJC application workshop. We had a general MSJC presentation yesterday, and that link is also available on YouTube for you to check out. And like always, the outreach department is here to help and support, and we've included our email in the chat box, so we are happy to continue the discussion with you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye, guys.